Change is constant in life, but few have embraced it as fully as Nisqy.
Nisqy's on the flank.
Oh, I'm
looking
going
for the
in.
sleep. He gets onto Maxwell. Nisqy jumps forward with the portal jump, gets the paddling out as well, and now Mickey has to get away. The shockwave misses once again. Hunsummer dead. Nisqy gets him in the back line, and Splice finally comes.
What? Like, I swear, when I watch Nisqy these days, I'm actually impressed.
Nisqy on the run, but he gets one.
Look at him go, Nisqy!
Looking for the follow-up. Can he make it out? The stun goes down. It will get traded back. Vitality spent everything on a single.
His career has been a whirlwind of a transformation. He's moved across teams, regions, and evolving metas, all driven by his relentless desire to help his team succeed. In his journey, it is one of struggle and perseverance, requiring him to reinvent himself time and again to stay relevant in an ever-changing esports landscape. But through every challenge, setback, and new beginning, one thing has never changed: his determination. And this is the story behind that player. This is the story of Nisqy. Nisqy's career began in the European regional circuits, where he played for lesser known teams before landing a spot on Fnatic's Academy in 2016. His first real step into professional play was a massive success, helping Fnatic's second team secure runner-up in the EUCS, better known as the second tier of the European leagues. At the time, his champion pool revolved mostly around control mages, and he absolutely excelled on champions like Rise, Cassiopeia, and Azir. His solid performances in the academy scene earned him a move across the Atlantic and into the NALCS, where he was going to be playing for a team called Envious. And this move was a major transition for him, not in terms of competition, but mostly culturally, as he had to adjust to a different region's meta, his new teammates, and the expectations of being a rising star. And none of this was easy. And with all of this combined, his time in NA was mostly disappointing, as he went back to Europe and joined a team named Splice in the top European scene named the EULCS. As the team's starting mid laner, he needed to do well, and he did just that, helping the team go third in spring, playing the same champions he did on Envious. But things started to unravel in the summer when they dropped to 6th place with the team. It was due to the meta turning into a 1-3-1, which meant playing for your side lanes and a heavy emphasis on macro and team play. Up until now, Nisqy has been getting away by just playing mostly the same champions with control mages in the mid lane, but this wouldn't cut it anymore. He would have to adapt, and he struggled to do that, as Splice missed out on Worlds that year, and if Nisqy wanted to stay as a pro player, he would have to learn this style. Cloud9 is one of North America's most storied organisations, with 6 domestic titles to their name. For Nisqy to receive an offer from them at this stage in his career was super unexpected, but in reality, it was a lucky break. At the time, Cloud9 was in a transitioning period, replacing their long-time mid laner Jensen and slowly phasing out their veteran jungles Vince Garen. Nisqy wasn't their first choice, or even their second, he was their 25th pick. But as luck would have it, every player ahead of him either declined or couldn't join, leaving him to be the best available option. This was his first time on a championship contending team, and the expectations were clear. Finishing middle of the pack wasn't an option, they had to win. That year, Cloud9 finished second in both spring and summer, only losing to their longtime rivals team Liquid, led by none other than C9's old mid laner Jensen. In retrospect, Cloud9 should have been happy with second place, as the Team Liquid roster had Jensen, Impact, Xmithy, Core JJ, and you all at home probably heard of Double Lift? Cloud9 at the end of this year still had enough points to qualify for Worlds, where they would randomly get assigned a group, and luck was not on their side as they were put with Griffin, PSG Talon, and the legendary 2019 G2 roster. So to no one's surprise, C9 left Worlds as quickly as they arrived, but for Nisqy, this just wasn't good enough. Going into 2020, Nisqy had something to prove. So far in his career, he's won 0 championships, hasn't been a standout player on any of his teams, and only gone to C9 as he was one of the only players on the market. But during the off-season, something changed in him. He started to grind relentlessly, studying the playstyle of Doinby, the world-winning mid laner of FunPlus Phoenix, B wasn't a mechanical god, he was a team player, doing everything he could to enable them. During the off-season, C9 started to phase out fully Svensk Garen and brought in a jungler called Blabber. Blabber's playstyle was very aggressive. He always looked to try invade the enemy jungle or carry the games himself. He played champs like Kindred, Lee Sin and Elise, which were his bread and butter. And you know what champs work best with them? Supportive mid laners. Nisqy needed a player like Blabber to make his playstyle work. He fully committed himself to this selfless playstyle, ensuring that Blabber could carry any game. And for me, this was the place that Nisqy had his biggest transformation.
Coming into the 2020 season, everyone still thought Team Liquid would be the best team.
And they are the best team North America has ever produced.
But they're kind of stuck, and everyone's waiting for them to be good. Meanwhile, Cloud9 is absolutely dominating.
How powerful the ability is. Oh!
Tied for the best regular split record in LCS history.
Licorice, he's looking to do body slam here.
There was this Cloud9 is an absolute behemoth.
Blabber goes in.
And for the first time in a long time, they go in as prohibitive favorites.
Combo, there's your combo.
That season, Nisqy had the third highest kill participation in the league. This felt like final form Nisqy, and in spring 2020, Nisqy and Cloud9 got what they were looking for. They were crowned champions of the LCS. Nisqy didn't receive the MVP that split. Instead it went to his jungler Blabber, but with the playstyle like that, it just made sense. However, even in victory, change was inevitable. The very next split, Cloud9 faced struggles, missing the World Championships despite a strong start to the year. This setback was a stark reminder that even when you feel like you're on top of the world, you can have everything ripped away from you. Hey guys, sorry to pause the video, make sure to like and subscribe and all of that. I'm a small YouTube channel trying to make this my full-time career, so it helps so much. But except for that, enjoy the rest of the video. After Cloud9's disappointing end to 2020, Nisqy returned to Europe, joining Fnatic's main roster. His arrival was met with skepticism. Many saw him as a safe pick rather than a player who could elevate Fnatic to world contender status. And it made sense. Just last year, Fnatic lost their star player Caps to rivals G2. This was the exact same scenario as Jensen when he left Cloud9 to join Team Liquid. Yet again, everyone was doubting him. Expectations were high. He was supposed to help Fnatic reclaim a championship. But Nisqy was never known as a hard carry mid laner. He was an adaptable, team-focused player. His first season paired him up with Selfmade, a jungler with a similar champ pool and playstyle to Blabber, yet things just weren't clicking. Fnatic finished 5th that spring split, but made a miracle run in summer, securing a 2nd place and qualifying to Worlds. And it just kept getting worse, as Fnatic during Worlds faced internal struggles. Their main ADC upset had to leave Worlds due to personal issues, so they had to play with their substitute named Bean. Despite flashes of brilliance, the team fell short of reclaiming its former glory, and they were eliminated swiftly afterwards. With the internal struggles and the lack of synergy between the players, it made sense that Nisqy and the team struggled that season. This put him in an awkward spot. People saw that Fnatic roster as a failure, and more importantly, people had their assumptions right that Nisqy couldn't be a main carry for the team. The following off-season was different. Nisqy was still working to improve, but he found himself in contract hell. Fnatic had signed a new mid laner, leaving Nisqy benched despite having a 2-year contract. He was stuck, unable to play at the top level. Esports is an ever-changing landscape, and many players fade into obscurity when faced with setbacks like this. This could have been the end of Nisqy's career, but if there's one thing we've learnt about him, it's that every time he's doubted, he comes back stronger. When Nisqy's next opportunity arrived, it was with Mad Lions in the 2022 summer split. This was his last shot. If he didn't perform here, he could be out of a job for good. But once again, time away only made him better. He helped Mad Lions finish 2nd that split, securing themselves a spot at Worlds. Though they were eliminated by North America's evil geniuses, there was still a spark of hope. Maybe this new team could really work. So going into 2023, their goal was to win a title. The team was looking better than ever, having debatably the best European jungler at the time, Elyoya, and a fellow friend of his, Hylissang, on support. That season, they would go on to dominate the winter split, until finally losing to G2 in the finals. Even with this setback, the team kept trying and eventually won the championship in spring, making Nisqy part of a very small set of players who've won the North American and European championships. Even with this success, change was inevitable. Mad Lions struggled at Worlds, failing to make it out of the groups, and the organisation decided to move towards an all Spanish speaking roster for 2024. Once again, Nisqy was left without a team. He landed on SK Gaming, a bottom tier team at the time. However, against expectations, he helped this team finish first in the 2024 regular season. It was a moment that made everyone double check the standards in disbelief, but their playoff run was short-lived. At 26 now, considered old in esports, Nisqy's opportunities were coming fewer and farther between. It felt like he was reaching the end of his league career. Nisqy's career so far has been a testament to the power of change. It's not something you should fear, but it's something that you should embrace. It forces growth. He has played in multiple regions, adapted to various metas, and weathered roster upheavals. Yet each transition has only refined his skills and perspective. His story is one of perseverance, proving that success in esports is not just about raw talent, but also about the ability to evolve, adjust, and embrace to the unknown. On March 30th, 2025, Nisqy made his biggest move yet in his career. He joined Team Vitality not as a mid laner, but as a support. This change could reignite his career and give him a chance to win another championship. But no matter if this change succeeds or not, Nisqy remains a beacon of what it means to adapt and thrive. His journey serves as an inspiration not just for an aspiring esports player, but for anyone navigating the unpredictable tides of life. In a world where nothing stays the same, Nisqy has shown that embracing change is the key to staying ahead of the curve. Only time will tell if Nisqy swapping to support was the right idea, but for damn sure, I'll be watching to find out. Alrighty guys, that is going to be it for the video. I do want to say a massive thanks again for watching the whole way through. It really does mean the world to me. I also am curious about if you guys think that Nisqy will be a good support onto Team Vitality, because for me personally, I think it is all up in the air. But except for that, make sure to like and subscribe, and on the right hand side of your screen, there should be a video up there about Afromu, one of my other favourite supports in the scene. But except for that, have a great day.